JK Fiber Arts. It is that time of year again. It's sunny, it's starting to get warm enough, not hot, and I am in the mood to do some scouring. The first thing up is this fleece that I bought last year at the Frederick Fiber Fest in October. And this is a Montadale fleece. So the Montadale, it's a heritage breed, but a heritage breed with a modern twist. So this is a dual purpose sheep. It's for meat and for fiber. It's one of the only American breeds. It's a cross of Cheviot and Columbia ewe. And it has a micron between 25 and 34. It's good for everyday wear. It's really lofty and crisp, and it shows texture really well, dyes really well. And I have never scoured one before, so I am super excited. But look at this, look at how fine the crimp is on this. This is gonna be beautiful. And look how clean this is. This is a really clean fleece. I am really excited. So I was going to go through this, and it was already skirted, but I usually like to just open it up and go through and see what I'm looking at. But this is gorgeous. I think I'm just gonna dump it right in. Wow, this is beautiful. I mean, I'll get rid of this little poop chonk there. But this is looking really nice. So I think that we are sitting pretty here. So what I'm going to do, since I have several fleeces that I'd like to start, I'm not going to do all of this at once. I'm just going to start with this chunk here and work on this. And then I'm also going to start one of my fleeces I just got from my friends at Malik Family Farm. And I can't decide which one. I'm either gonna start with the Coopworth, which I just am in love with. You know, I have a affinity for that sheep. Or I have a 100% Gotland, and the locks are stunning. So I can't decide where I want to start. But first we're gonna start with this. So what I plan to do is I'm gonna soak this overnight in some wool wash and cold water in a bucket, and then we'll be back tomorrow and start the scour process. I wanted to show you right before we put this into soak. One, this lovely fine crimp. I'm very excited about how this is going to be. Two, the staple length is usually somewhere around 3 or 4 inches for this. This is a lovely staple length. And then the other thing that I wanted to do is just to do a little pull test here at either end of the fiber here. I'm just going to do a little pull, and that is lovely. So I'm pulling pretty hard, nothing's breaking. That's sound fiber. Tips aren't breaking off. It's not breaking in the center. Strong tips, everything is great. Look at that. Oh, it's gorgeous. So we are going to put this in the pot. Obviously I don't think I can do this all in one. Let's see. I'm gonna break it in half because I don't think I can carry this all at once. And what I did over here was I just filled up a pot. I have a couple coolers too, so and I'm just gonna soak this overnight just to get some of this like kind of ground in stuff out. It'll just make it easier and faster tomorrow. This is not suent or anything like that. I'm just soaking it. And I put a little bit of, look how muddy the water is already. Look at that. And this looks like a clean fleece. You see how quickly it's getting muddy. So I'm just gonna soak this overnight. And then tomorrow we'll drain this out. I'll fill this up with my Scour water, and we'll get to scouring. When I scour it, I'm not going to put it all in one pot like this because water is your friend when you're scouring. When in doubt, the more water, the better. So this is not going to be, I'm not putting this whole thing in there. This is just for the soaking. And everybody asked me where I got this pot in my setup. This is a crab pot. I do live in Maryland. And these are available basically at the Tractor Supply stores where I got this one. My son modified it for me. He was doing his plumbing. I just put the lid on so bugs and junk doesn't get in there. But he he put a little spigot on the end of this for me, because when it's full I can't lift it, but I can drain it out, the water out, and it makes it easy to carry, especially if it's hot. I can put a bowl under there and catch all the scalding water so it doesn't kill my grass. So I love this. Creole Feast, 100 quarts, 25 gallons. Love it. And then the next thing we are going to do is go get that beautiful Gotland fleece. This is the absolutely stunning Gotland fleece from Naveed and Rahina at Malik Family Farm. It's a stunner, man. And it is so clean. There's like no VM in it. Right over here is this little tiny pile I have of things that I didn't want to waste time on. And I have like a little tiny pile that I did on the other side, which has like very little tiny bit. So it is so clean. You know, the tips, of course, have some mud in them, but there's not VM. So, and some of these are a little bit more caked than others, but right, look at these. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. And they have a nice, beautiful, look at that long staple length. This is something I'm definitely going to comb. It's very, very fine fiber, and it is, I think, gonna be two-toned, which is gonna be amazeballs if I over dye some of it too. So we are going to do that. I think I'm gonna do it straight away. So when this is clean, this is gonna be like a, you know, kind of a white, and this is gonna be that silver, and that is gonna look amazing. So I'm so excited. The main thing I'm doing, I'm kind of putting these in order here, tips to tails, because I wanted to try to scour them with the locks in place. I don't know if I'm going to, because it's a lot of effort. And I have been looking for my bag that I kind of use to help with this, and I can't find it. So I think I'm going to do the next best thing, which is I'm going to just sort of lay them down adjacent to each other, and I'm going to be very, very careful about agitation. I mean, they're gonna float around in there, but I also think it'll be easy for me to recognize when it comes time to comb which end is which, because the silver, beautiful silver ends are next to the skin on the sheep, and the whiter ends here are the tips. So I don't think I'm gonna have any difficulty telling that apart. And I may be just rationalizing that to myself. We shall see. But I do think this is two-toned. So, and this is a ram, and it doesn't smell. And I did learn that from Naveed, because I've had people I've talked to online who talk about, you know, how do you get the smell out of, they got a beautiful fleece, but it just smells really bad because, you know, rams stink. But it has to do with the time of year that you shear them, and you don't want to shear them during breeding and some other time. I can't remember. Naveed, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But it has to do with the time of year you shear them. So, and Naveed knows what time of year to shear, so he gave me this beautiful non-smelly ram. So super happy about that, and it is just gorgeous. The sheen on this thing, oh, look at that. And like I said, there's like almost no VM in this. It's amazing. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. So I'm going to continue to ooh and ah over the amazingness of this, and then I'm going to put it in, and what I've decided to do, either bag or no bag, I am going to put them in, I think, this strainer bowl here. I'm gonna put some of them in here, and the rest of them I'm gonna put in the cooler over there, so that I can sort of keep them somewhat contained, instead of putting them in a big pot where they're gonna float around everywhere. So I'm gonna use two different vessels, and I think that'll work. And we'll see how this looks tomorrow, and then when it comes time to scour, I am gonna have to make the decision of whether or not I wanna put it in the big pot all at once or not. We shall see. All right, so all of this on here, if you come around here and look, this was all that I had, and this is less than a quarter of the fleece, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. So this is not very much of it, but I wanted to make sure I took my time. You know, some of this I just, you know, you could probably scour this. I just didn't feel it. It's so matted and hard. I just didn't feel like wasting my time on it. You know, like this one, even, I mean, yes, possibly it is just really matted. But I did take some of this stuff here that was pretty dirty and stiff, and I'm gonna soak it, and it'll be my little experiment. I kept that right here so that if it works really great, when I go through the rest of this fleece, if I come across more of this stuff, I might be more inclined to keep it. So now, what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm sort of being lazy here. I'm gonna take a scoop of this here and take it over and put it into my pot. Now I'm gonna put more than one of these in here, but try to keep them at least in some relative semblance of order. Very slowly sinking this to the bottom. Gotland is extremely fine. It will felt if you breathe on it wrong. Take this. Some of this. Alright. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm not going to move the position of my bowl, so I'm going to remember that I tried to put it in with my tips pointing towards noon. Soak down in there, and there's a little tiny bit of wool wash in here, not a lot, just a little. We'll do the real wool wash tomorrow. I just wanted to soak this, maybe get some of those tips opened up. And again, I'm barely touching it. And this one works maybe even better because I can keep it a little more contained in this. I might actually scour in this tomorrow. It's actually kind of a good idea. This is why I do it. See what I like. I think I like this. This is going to be the winner. All right, so now I've got a plan because I think that is going to be great. I'm going to put the rest of the fiber in there. Okay, we're not touching it. We'll see you tomorrow.
What's going on, Finn?
Finn's going to protect the fleece until tomorrow. Right, Feeny? Here we are with the Montadale next morning, and let me show you how awesome my son is. And I'm just using a 5-gallon bucket, and I fill it up so I can dump it in my garden. And yeah, my garden. Let's not look too closely at that yet. I haven't addressed that. Although I do have lovely asparagus. This is like the 4th season for it, and it is in there. You can't see it, although you can see where our gate is smashed in, where the deer came into the garden the other night and ate some of it, but it is in there. So the nice thing about the crab pot here is that I can do this and lift this up, and all of the water will drain out also. I'm just doing it the slow way since I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit because it's still only about, I don't know, 48, 50 degrees maybe. So I want it to be slightly toastier before I start this. And then while this is going on, I'm going to get my setup here, and we'll be ready to start scouring. Here is the Gotland, and the water doesn't even look dirty. Oh my gosh, this is the cleanest fleece. Look at this thing. Oh, I'm so freaking excited. Okay, so look at this. Oh, I have to get my husband to come out so you can see how I do this part. Let's see how this one looks. So this one, the water looks a little bit dirtier, but if you remember the one that I said this is an experiment, and I put the dirtier locks in this one. You may not have noticed when I was doing it because I kind of did it on the sly. I didn't point it out when it was coming around, but you can see back in here, the water's a little dirtier. I put the super dirty locks on this end, and I'm just gonna put my hand in here and see if they're still kind of stiff. So one of the things that you can do, and if I had both hands available right now, I would do this. You can run your finger under the water along the tip in the direction of the fiber, not doing this, but doing this to try to open the tips a little bit if you want to. Now, I'm not super stressed about this. Oh wait, my 5-gallon bucket's gonna overflow. Ah! Sorry, I'm back here. Didn't want to overflow. I don't want my grass to get muddy because then the dog is gonna get really muddy. What I was saying was I'm not too stressed if I don't get these the whole way open right now. And that's because I'm gonna comb these anyways. So if the tips aren't open, it's not the end of the world. I'm trying to open them a little bit because I'm going to dye them. And I wanna have the dye get in there as best I can. So again, this is a two-handed job. As soon as my husband comes out, he can help me with this. But you can see there's some dirt in the tips here. How it's mostly opened up and then there's just a little bit of dirt. So this is really working well. The other thing I wanted to show you that's awesome about this, but I couldn't lift it one-handed, so I had to set my phone down, is there is a little catch in here, and there's like little pieces welded onto the side of the strainer part. And so if I'm not doing super fine, so the Montadale isn't super fine, then I pull this up and the little pieces there on the side hold it up out of the water so the water can drain and it's not just soaking in dirty water. And then this all is going to run out, and then I'm going to take the strainer out and then fill this with fresh clean water, rinse it, fill it with clean water, and then we'll heat that water up and we'll be ready to roll. So here we are underway. It's very loud. It sounds like a jet engine. It's a high propane cooker here, and the water heats up pretty fast. My newest tool, and this does surface temperature, is this, and it does the infrared. I know that my tap water is usually around 125. I just filled it up with hot tap water. So it says here my surface temperature is about 122. So I'm gonna stir this up before I put the fiber in, the fleece in, and make sure that, you know, we're somewhere around the 150s, 160s, somewhere in there. And we'll put this in. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon per 2 gallons for this scour. And I have 25 gallons in here right now. So I'm gonna call it 24 gallons just for the math. And so 24 gallons, which is 12 tablespoons, and there's what, 4 tablespoons? 4 tablespoons in a quarter cup. So 4 times 3 is 12, right? So that is 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to start draining from here. So this just goes down again, trying to keep the locks in as close to order as I can. The tips are now facing this way and the cut ends are this way. And obviously it's not gonna stay perfect, but I'm doing my best to keep it in line here. So what I'm gonna do is just unplug this here. I don't know how far it's gonna shoot out. Oh, pretty far, okay. Whoop. Let's not get my feet wet. There we go. And I was gonna use the spoon here to try to keep any locks from coming out. I may end up having to use my hand. It's getting clogged with locks. So what I've decided to do is just stick my hand in here. It's not that cold. And that way everything's staying where it's supposed to stay and the water's draining out. And now I have my wonderful husband helping me, so it'll go so much better with 2 people. If I would have planned ahead, I would have put some tulle or something over this so that the locks wouldn't clog the drain. But my hand is doing a good job and I'm holding everything still. The wood spoon wasn't working because it was just wrapping around it. We'll get this drained out, and then I'm gonna put these in my cat tray, and then we're gonna fill this, rinse this, and fill it up again. So my wonderful husband and cameraman Michael is helping me, and I would just like to say he is wearing a wonderful hat that I hand dyed and knit for him. But also he's wearing a parka.
Kirsten has on a t-shirt and a hat, and it looks like spring. Now show him winter. It's winter over here.
And then here's my husband. We are standing in the same location. So my wonderful husband and cameraman Michael is helping me, and I would just like to say he is wearing a wonderful hat that I hand dyed and knit for him. But also he's wearing a parka.
Kirsten has on a t-shirt and a hat, and it looks like spring. No, show them winter. It's
and then,
winter over
and
here.
then here's my husband. We are
here.
standing in the same location. He really is the absolute best though. Even if I do tease him about what he chooses to wear when it is now approaching 58 degrees. So I'm here checking our temperature. It came to temp really fast. I also had it on max heat. It was very, very fast. And of course, it's going to be hotter at the bottom, and my thermometer is going to read the surface temp. So what I do is I make sure I stir this up really good, and then I check the surface temp. And I've been doing a couple of checks. When I took the lid off, I thought that it was boiling a little bit. So I turned the temp way down, and now I'm trying to get an accurate reading here. And I'm shooting, you know, maybe like 161. There we go. That's a little better. And I was getting like 190, 200. I was like, no, that is not okay. If you boil wool, if the temperature is too hot, which is over 185 degrees, it will weaken the wool, and it can break. And then if you're trying to part it, it will break and give you a bunch of neps. So temperature is important. Finer fibers typically have more lanolin, so they may need more than one scour. I'm always trying to do everything in one scour. I may just do more than one rinse. We'll see how this goes. I didn't think that either one of these sheep were particularly lanolin caked, either one of these. Well, the Gotland was not at all. The Montadale was actually not bad, comparatively speaking to the CVM Rommeldale I did, which was very heavily lanolin. So let me see what we got here. It is pretty cool out. As soon as the breeze hits the water, it's going to be a lot cooler. Yeah. All right. I feel comfortable putting it in now. All right. Let's do this. So I'm going to put in the fiber. And I said I wasn't going to put it all in, but, you know, I think I'm going to, because I don't think I have more than 2 pounds there. That was barely a quarter of that fleece. And so I think that we might be able to get this with one. So let's try. Worst case scenario, I have to break it up in smaller batches and rescour it, which is more work on the far end, but I'm taking a gamble that I can get it done in one. So what I've done here is I went to the very bottom and I just basically flipped it kind of like a pancake. I flipped the fiber, so you can see there is some caked mud here, and my plan is to get that all out. I have what do they call those? The Kevlar gloves, the grill gloves, which actually don't do well when they get wet, but I use them just to protect my hands, and I'll usually try to put rubber gloves underneath of those. I can't find them at the moment. I know it's the spring and everything seems to have walked into different places over the winter. But I'm just wearing my rubber gloves here, so we'll be very careful about this. But this is all I'm going to do now is set this into our pot here. If I can do this with, and you can see I'm going to rotate this so I don't catch the little hooks there, and we're just going to let this go on down in, and then I'm going to use my paddle to push this down. Very slowly down in there, and some stuff will stick to the wood. I haven't found a long enough one to fit in here, so I've just accepted that I will have a little bit of stickage here until I find a better tool. I was using a lacrosse stick for a while, but the net was kind of sticky. I just have to be careful, and then I'll just remove this. I'm just going as slow as I can. Good. Nice, okay. And again, I'm going along the direction of the fiber. I'm not rolling it between my fingers. I'm going along so I don't felt the tip. All right. Okay, that was a quick 20 minutes. We're gonna take the lid off. I did turn my fire off here. The other cool thing is that it has a thing for the lid to hang on the back. So I was worried that it might be too hot even if I had it on low. So let's see where my temp is now. Yeah, see I'm at 150, 142. I'm okay with that. And that's the surface temp, so it's probably a little hotter below. So I think I have to use 2 hands to do this. Oh, maybe not, because there's still plenty of water in here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is put this up, and then I'm just gonna start draining some of this into my dump bucket, just to get it light enough I can get this out and then move it into the cooler. I don't want it to cool off. Here's the pro tip. You can go from cold to hot without felting, but hot to cold is no bueno. So we want to try to keep this temperature the same. In fact, I might even put this lid on top of here just because there's a tiny bit of a coolish breeze. And let's drain this, and I'm gonna probably not video this part because I need to hustle. So, you know, the water here doesn't look too bad. I put that in the cooler and close the lid. That'll keep the temp while I dump this and heat up some new water for rinsing. And then what I'm gonna do going forward is I'm going to start with the scour over here. So I'm going to heat up some clean water, and then I'm just gonna slide this bowl under, fill it with the hot water, and then add the power scour, and then add the Gotland right back in the strainer there. Just set it right back in, put the covers on the top, and then let it soak for 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna have another cooler, put the other half of the water in there, and it'll hold in that one over there. And then we'll just dump from that one into this one for the rinse. It'll keep everything hot, and we'll just kind of run that cycle through. So I'm doing the rinse. I put half of the Montadale in here, and you can see here the water is pretty clear, other than, you know, there's some soap in here. So I'm going to close the lid on this, keep this up to the temp, because if it cools off too much, the lanolin can redeposit back on here, so we don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna close that lid, and we'll check it in 20 minutes. All right, so here is our Montadale, and this was the rinse. And the water here, if you look in here, is looking pretty darn clear. I'm gonna pause our dumping here. So it looks pretty good. It looks really pretty clear here. I'm just using my paddle to keep the fiber from falling down. So I'm gonna drain this, and then we'll put it in the spin dryer. All right, I'm gonna take this and put it in the spin dryer. I think we're clean enough. We're gonna see. And I'm gonna put this in here. And this is my spin dryer. There's no heat. It's from Laundry Alternative, and it takes about 3 minutes. And yeah, you can let it run into your yard. I usually stick something under there to catch it. That way I can see if the water's running clear. And I think it looks pretty clear. So this is about a 3-minute timer. So I think this looks good. This is pretty clear. I don't see much dirt in here, a little tiny bit. I'm okay with the way this is coming out. Okay, we're all done here. And you can see the water here, it looks pretty clear. It's got a little tiny bit of dirt in it, but I think that's gonna be fine. Especially if I'm gonna dye it, because I'll rinse it again when I dye. So here we have it. Woo, whoa, this looks good. This looks really good, keeping in mind that this has been in a bag for a long time. So I'm not too worried about any of this on the tips here. This all gonna come right out. Ooh, now the breeze picks up as soon as I put it out here. So we're gonna put this out here, and all this vegetable matter, which really isn't that much all things considered, is just gonna fall right out. As this dries, we're gonna do some shaky shake here. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. Oh, oh my gosh, it looks really good. Oh, I love this fiber. Montadale, who knew? I've never worked with it before. It feels really nice too. Wow, look at this. Big chunk. So what I'll do here is let this dry. And it shouldn't take very long on the with the spin dryer and the drying rack in the sun and the light breeze here. I'm probably gonna have to get my screen put on top so it doesn't blow away. But this is gonna be great.
Looks like a cloud.
Yeah.
I mean, cloud. I can't even tell the same picture.
So this is that Montadale. And then once this is all fluffed and drying, we'll shake it out, and then we'll be ready to either card it, dye it, whatever it is I decide I want to do with it. Oh, there's a gust of wind though. I should get my screen before we go any further. Guard this while I get the screen.
Okay.
It never fails. I never think it's windy out until I start trying to dry fiber. As soon as it gets light and airy, boom, here comes the wind. So it's crazy. So we're about 163 surface temp, and it's not very deep, so I think that's pretty good. 157, 158, so I think we're good. Let's put this Gotland in.
There's Finny.
And all I'm going to do is just submerge it in there. And I get it in like that. And now I'm just going to get my gloves, we'll push it down.
Finn is the branch manager supervisor.
He's not doing any branch managing at the moment, though. He's checking everything out.
Yeah, he's just supervising.
Just let that sit. 20 minutes. Here is our rinse, and I don't know if you can see the water so far is looking very clear, really clear. So we are going to give this the 20 minutes and come back and see how it looks. Here is the scour for the dirtier locks. These are the ones that were in the cooler, and I can see that the water on this one is a lot dirtier, so this is probably going to take more than one rinse. We'll see how it goes. And it goes for 20 minutes. Here is the first one, and it's hot, but I just want you to see that the water looks pretty clear. So I'm going to lift this up. I lost my cameraman, so we'll see how dirty the water is underneath. Here's our water. Doesn't look too bad, but it is definitely dirty. And obviously that was the scour, so now we're going to rinse, and we'll see what it looks like. Again, I do think the water is looking pretty clear. This is the rinse though now. So I do think it should look clear. Oh, don't get stuck to my spoon. Let's gently push this down here and see what we get. Here is our Montadale. It looks really good. I hope I'm gonna stay in focus here. It's hard for me to see in the sun. So I'm not sure where the better direction for me to stand is. I guess if I stand this way. And it looks really nice. I'm gonna get this in because it's a little breezy out here and I need to have room to put all of my Gotland out here. So usually I could have fit that all on, but since it's so windy, I have to keep the screen on. So I'm gonna take the rest of this inside to dry and make some room out here. Our Gotland is in for the first rinse. This is the dirtier one, and you know, I expect the water to be dirtier, and I expect this to probably need another one. We'll see how it goes. Here we are. This is after 20 minutes, and I gotta say, that water looks pretty clean. Let's see what it looks like underneath. I always think it looks clean on top, so let's see what it looks like below. Here's our water. It's just slightly dirty. I think I'm gonna do one more quick rinse and see it run clear. Here is the first rinse from the cooler here, and we definitely need another rinse. So this water's pretty dirty. I thought it would be. It was way dirtier than the other one. So let's do it. Okay, second rinse. I'm calling that good. I can read the sign at the bottom. I think it looks great. So I'm going to put this first round of Gotland in the spin dryer. Before anything happens or blows away, oh my gosh, this is so incredibly amazing. So this is just out of the spin dryer, so this is still wet. I mean, holy moly. This is so soft. It is divine. Oh my gosh. It is so gorgeous. Here, let's find one that has more open tip. Oh, look at this. Just freaking look at it. Ah! Okay, so I will see you guys next time when we will be combing and possibly over dyeing some of this gorgeousness. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Naveed and Rahina. Until next time, spin happy, scour happy, do everything happy. Happy Easter. And, lots of new stuff up on my shop. There's a top if you want to see what it looks like on Instagram, I have some samples up of the tulip field, and the newest one is the Monet water lilies. I just finished this bin last night. In fact, it's drying up on the porch. I'm going to post it tonight, hopefully, if I don't fall asleep after this day. I'm kind of sunburned. But I will see you guys next time. If you want to check it out, the Monet Water Lilies is on Rambouillet Silk, and it's stunner, if I do say so myself. And, speaking of stunning, we are going to definitely get back to this Gotland next time. And I will see you soon. Until then, spin happy. If you are interested in any of the Malik Family Farm awesome fleeces, you can click the link here or in the description. And the link to my online shop is in the description as well. Have a great week.